Jesus, you're all that I need. Everything else can wait. I've come to seek your face, so everything else can wait. I'm here for you. I want to just be here at your feet. Just be here on my knees. Here in your presence, I am complete. Jesus, you're all that I need. There's nothing I want more, 'cause nothing matters more. There's nothing I want more, God, 'cause nothing matters more. No, there's nothing I want more than you, 'cause nothing matters more. There's nothing I want more, 'cause nothing matters more. I'll just
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. Tonight is going to be our worship evening. It's going to be we're going to be joined live by Noah Lewis later on, and we're also going to be joined by Ben Cottrell. My name's Sarah Beecham, and I'm the Divisional Youth Specialist for Yorkshire North and Tees.
My name is Mark Kelly, and I'm the Divisional Youth Specialist for Yorkshire South with Humber. And we very much got lost in that piece. That was the Olympic fanfare from the Territory Youth Band in 2019, but we caught ourselves just watching it, weren't we? We were engrossed in it, we were looking at familiar faces, and we also saw Noah, who Sarah mentioned we're going to speak to live very shortly, but we saw him on that video as well.
We saw a much shorter Noah than we currently have with us, but that was TYB and TYC 2 years ago. Are we thinking?
Yeah, 2019.
Fantastic. So it is the first Sunday of Lent, and one of my questions is, what have you guys given up? I know that we were talking about it last week, and we had conversations about, obviously, pancakes, and we had live pancake making, and you'll be pleased to know we have cleared the kitchen up at Sheffield Citadel, and there is no more pancake on the floor, which there may have been last week. But what have you guys given up for Lent? And I'd love to get you commenting in and hear from that one. Mark, have you given anything up?
Yeah, I've given up coffee this year, which I had an email from my DC, Lynn Gibbs, that said, have you prepared for this properly? Is Becky prepared for it? You know, I think she's concerned about my mood swings, not having coffee, what have you. It's something I've done before. I do find it hard because I do love having a coffee. I do like maybe going to Costa, probably a little too much. So we'll see how it goes. So far, so good, but we're, 5 days in?
Which would make sense that we went for a walk earlier on in this week. We live less than a kilometre from each other. We went for a walk to plan today. And I offered to buy you a coffee, and you had a bottle of water, and I didn't even twig, even slightly, that you'd given up coffee. So next time, I won't put that temptation in your way. I'm very sorry.
What about yourself, Sarah? What have you given up for Lent?
So I've given up internet shopping, which I'm not going to lie, it's already a bit of a struggle. I do find myself, especially with things like when I'm scrolling through Instagram or Facebook, there's adverts on there, and they obviously gauge for what I would like and what I would enjoy. So yeah, that's gone. I did my last purchase on Tuesday evening was a netball and a netball post, because I've been getting into the netball. So that is a little treat.
But did you forget to get something? You know, you bought the netball post. What else do you need for the netball?
I forgot to buy the pump for it. To blow the ball up, but it's all right because again we've got a really good neighbour, Nick Hamlet, that lives just across the road from us, and thankfully yesterday was able to drop one round. So I'm not without. Yeah, I've been looked after by other people, but I did forget to buy that.
So yeah, please send in what you have given up for Lent, or maybe what you are doing for Lent, because we know some people also take things on in this period of Lent as well. So let us know your responses there. We'd love to see them. I also know that yesterday I was purchasing some chocolate for the trivia night. I was struggling to get the order for next day delivery, so I had to seek Sarah's help on internet shopping, because I know she is a guru on it. Maybe I've put a bit of temptation there with you having just given up, so I apologise for that. But those people should have received a chocolate now as well.
But it was that thing of, I think it's the only technical help I have ever given you. We've been friends for years, like 15 years or something ridiculous. And probably more than that, in fact. Yeah, maybe 20 years. It just says how old we are. We've been friends for 20 years, and not once have you had to ask me for any form of tech help. So yeah, it's one of my fortes. It's something I'm good at, but hey, something I've given up.
Please send in your comments. We'd love to share and chat with you this evening. But as Sarah mentioned, we're shortly going to be chatting to Noah Lewis, which is going to be great. This last week, there's been the Territorial Youth Band and Territorial Youth Choir, which takes place every February half term. But this year it's had to look slightly different because it's had to be online because of the current guidelines. So we're going to chat to Noah very shortly and hear a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so TYB and TYC is something that I've never been to, so I'm really intrigued to know more about it. I've seen the video clips, especially since we've been doing these live Sundays, and they've been really, really great. But I know you went, again, I'm going to make you feel even older, a long time ago.
I knew this was coming because I was just thinking about it, and Noah will probably laugh. My very first, I did 3 TYBs. My very first one was 20 years ago, probably last week. So yeah, 20 years ago.
Old.
I was at TYB, so there we are.
Yeah, so I've never been part of them, so I am really, really intrigued to know what they're normally like, how it's looked, obviously, at the moment with the fact that COVID is still very much a thing that is going on. So I am really, really intrigued on that one.
So without further ado, shall we bring Noah in and have a chat with him?
Let's go for it.
Right, so Noah, thank you for joining us this evening. It's nice to have someone else in the room. Normally it's just your dad and James who join us, so it's nice to have you in here as well. But can you share with us, most people will know you from our divisional events. There'll be quite a few people that's watching it won't know you as well. But can you share with us who you are, where you're from, and what's your favourite thing to do when you're not in lockdown?
My name's Noah Lewis. I come from Sheffield, which is where we are now, and my favourite thing to do is to probably go out, yeah.
Just be out of the house.
Yeah.
I think everyone can recognise that. Yep, I want to get out. No, it's just nice to get out. Yeah.
And I know that you're a big sports fan as well, so have you missed playing football and things like that?
Yeah, I have missed it, because earlier on, like last year, at the end of last year, we were allowed to play Sunday League football again, but now that's been halted again due to the...
So you're missing that one too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely get that one. I'm starting to really miss sport. So I've never been to TYB. So can you tell us what you've done this week? I know this week's been different to last year, so can you just tell us what have you done this week? What is TYB?
So this week, every morning at 10:30, there was like a Bible study where we were in there for like half an hour, and then we split off into little rooms with like 9 of us, and got asked some questions, and yeah. And then at like 4 o'clock, there was like the first night we did a Kahoot quizzes, and then the second night there was like an interview with some bandsmen, and then the night after that was the same thing. And then on Thursday night, it was review of the week, where we just looked at some tasks that people did, and just had fun. Also had a Domino's pizza as well.
That's always good.
You had I know, but this is virtual and it's online, so how did you have a Domino's pizza?
I ordered one. Well,
Okay.
I didn't order it, but as in I got given one.
Oh, so as in they sent one out to you?
No, my mum bought it.
Oh, your mum and dad got it for you. I was going to say.
Christian and Vicky didn't buy a pizza for everyone at TYB. No, okay.
No, okay, just you. That's fair enough.
We've had a comment in from Dan Sefton. He's also said, I've done the last 2 TYBs and they are great. So it's great to have someone you know doing that as well. I'm sure you've made lots of friends there as well. Great. How many years have you done TYB?
I've done it. That was my 3rd year.
3rd year this year.
Yeah.
This is obviously very different. Is there a piece over the last 3 years that has been your favourite, and maybe you can share with us why it's been your favourite?
My favourite piece has to be Shine is the Light. As I was the first 2nd generation TYBer, because my mum went before me and then I went, obviously. So on review of the week, I got asked some questions about the order of the pieces that we played, and I got it right. So then I got given the signed score of Shine is the Light. So yeah, that was my favourite piece.
It's a really good piece, I have to say. It's a piece I really, really enjoyed.
Yeah, we've played in youth band. I think your James has conducted it with us, which has been great. So signed by Peter Graham. And it's amazing.
I've met Peter Graham. That's one of my only claims to banding fame. I've met him. I sat with him during a concert. That's all I've got, Noah. That's as banding as I get.
That's all right.
I didn't get a signed score, no, unfortunately not.
So obviously this year has been very, very different, but thankfully the TYB and TYC, they still managed to put out a concert on Friday night, similar to what we do on our worship evenings, sharing past pieces and past pieces from TYB, past pieces from TYC, but you've also created a piece for this year as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the piece that we played this year, we played last year, and it's just like a hymn, really. It's not like a strong piece or anything. It's just like a calm piece.
Great.
Oh, it sounds really good. And is that the one that we've got coming up next?
Yeah, we're going to
as well?
show that clip very shortly.
So did you have to send this in prior to the week as well? So you've recorded this?
You had to record it, and you had like the piece playing in your ear, and you just had to send it in.
Which must be quite a strange... I know that like you've done that with the Gospel Roots, and I know that James has done it, but that must be quite a strange thing to do compared to a normal banding situation.
Yeah, because I was just looking at my dad, and every time I did something wrong, start again.
He was like, no, back to the beginning, redo it.
Was Christian making you redo it?
Yeah.
Oh, he's such a bully.
It is slightly weird when you're doing it on your own, playing along to a piece, because when you're playing a full band, you can't hear yourself as clearly, so it's quite a vulnerable place to do it. And obviously your dad has made sure he's got perfection out of you by doing it a million times, I'm sure.
Yeah, and let's be all honest, we know that Christian is a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, Dan, if you've got anything you'd like to share about TYB as well, please comment in. I know you're watching as well. We'd love to hear your thoughts as well, and we'll read them out. But whilst you're doing that, we want to say a massive thank you to Noah for joining us. Please send in your words of encouragement for Noah. And we're going to listen to the TYB from this year, who all came together online with the piece, You Encircle Me. That was the Territorial Youth Band from this year, from the online Territorial Youth Band. It's been great to have Noah join us and share a little from his experience from the week. We asked people to send in their words of encouragement, and we've had a few comments come in. And we've got one from Joanne Bale. It says, sounds like you've had a great week, Noah. Thank you for sharing. We've also had Lynn Gibbs that's commented. Lynn and Railton have said, great to see you, Noah, and so pleased you've had a great time. So encouraged by your word.
Yeah, Dan Sefton said it was really nice to have a TYB where they actually got some sleep. He said the only upside of not actually being in Bournemouth was the fact that there wasn't a 7-hour drive. And then who knows what the Mortimers are talking about, but we've got Harry and Adam and Leo say, hi, Noah. And then they say something about Beyonce. They have no idea. Maybe it's that you look like Beyonce. Maybe that is what's going on, Noah. And lovely to see you on the big screen. I have to say, I really enjoyed that piece. I've never heard it before. Or if I have, I don't recognise it.
It's brought freshness to it today, which is nice.
I don't think I've ever heard it before.
Well, there you go. No, it was really nice. So thank you, Noah, for being part of that and bringing that to us this evening. You can see the full TYB and TYC concert from this year on the YouTube channel. We'll try and find a link and share that with you later on this evening on our Facebook page as well.
Yeah, so Territorial Youth Chorus is pretty much the same as the band, but they are bringing things kind of vocally to us. Noah was saying just during that they normally have a social where they join with the TYC. So not only do they join together for a concert at the end, but they have a social evening together as well. He said last year was a silent disco, which I have to say is something I've always wanted to do and never done. I think I'd really enjoy a silent disco.
I don't think it would work on one of our trivia nights. It would be a bit boring for people to watch us just having a silent disco here.
I'd make a fool of myself, but it won't be the first time on a trivia night that I'd managed to do that.
The Territorial Youth Band, Territorial Youth Choir, they take place in Bournemouth, down in Boscombe, every year during the February half term. We will later in the year share more information on how you can apply if you wanted to go for next year, of course. We're also aware that there's many people of many generations who have been involved in it before, so I'm sure we could share some more information about that as well. But it's just great to hear from Noah this evening and get his perspective on what was, I'm sure, a great week.
Yeah, and we've got something from the Territorial Youth Chorus as well. So we've got a piece that they've brought together for this year. So again, something that's been done kind of far and wide and has been brought together digitally. And there's a piece that they've brought to us, which is called Love Theory. And I just invite you to sit back and listen to this. It may be a completely new piece to you, but this is the TYC for this year.
Can it be that you love the most unlovable part of me? How could you see your life was the only gift I'll ever need to be free? It's amazing with you. I win even if I lose. Everything's working for my good, for a way. He says today he will come through. He won't doubt, that's not what superheroes do. Your greater love makes my heart beat. All I wanna do is make you proud of me. I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you. How can it be? Every one of my secrets that you keep, you cover me. A mystery. No patience with me, I will never leave. Don't ever leave. Help me to see like you. No matter what I go through, everything's working for my good, for always. He saves the day, he will come through. He won't doubt, that's not what superheroes do. No greater love makes my heart beat. All I wanna do is make you proud of me. I don't wanna love nobody but you. 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 Loving you will be the death of me. That's how it's supposed to be. More of you, less of me. I don't wanna love nobody but you. 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 I don't wanna love nobody but but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you. He saves the day, he will come through. He won't have, that's not what superheroes do. No greater love, it's my heartbeat. All I wanna do is make you proud of me. He saves the day, he will come through. He won't have, that's not what superheroes do. No greater love, it's my heartbeat. All I wanna do is make you proud of me. I don't wanna love nobody but you. 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 I don't wanna love nobody but you.
The idea of self-denial was first introduced in London by William Booth in 1886. He said, "Go without something and give what you would have spent to the Salvation Army's work." That was over 130 years ago. Now, nearly every Salvation Army corps the world over plays its part. So if you are giving in London, Llanelli, Larne or Lockerbie, you are joining with Salvationists in Oslo,
hear you,
Ohio or Ouagadougou, which is the capital city of Burkina Faso. The money is redistributed by international headquarters to the places that need it most. It funds the background things, the not so exciting but essential things, so that Salvation Army staff and volunteers can get on and do what they're good at, like the work in Burkina Faso.
It was great to see something there from the Territorial Youth Choir. Something a little bit different is great, but it's great to see what people can do and bring together amidst lockdown as well, which is quite phenomenal to see that people can do something like that.
Yeah, so Noah's mum's commented in saying that you can't go wrong with a bit of Kirk Franklin. And then one of her young people, who has been under in Sing Company, I'm sure, has said, "Oh, this is Vicky's favourite." So Vic, you are apparently they know you really well, which is good. Predictable.
Over the last few weeks and today, it's been great to bring different people into our worship evenings and our trivia nights, hear from them from afar, see how they're doing, catch up, and just hear something different about the work that they're doing. And tonight we're going to bring a familiar face to you. We're going to be joined by Captain Ben Cottrell. So hopefully, Ben, are you there?
Yeah, Mark, I can hear you. I'm here.
Good. That's always good when technology works for us.
I thought he was leaving us in suspense, so just waiting and watching.
Ben, it's really great to have you with us. The fact that the last time I think I spoke to you, you weren't a captain. You sound more official than you ever did, which is very exciting. But to us, you will always just be Ben and a very much a part of the Yorkshire team. But it's great to be able to catch up with you. But there's lots of people that won't know who you are. So could you just share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm actually part of the Territorial Youth Band alumni, would you believe? I was the bass trombone player from 2001 to 2002. And it was there I met a young guy called... What?
I was there 2001 to 2003.
Oh, maybe circa around there. But I remember meeting a guy called Adam Fripp, who some of you will know, and then realising there's a guy who really looks like me, even as a teenager. Anyway, so my name's Ben. As Sarah said, I'm an officer in the Salvation Army. Some of you might know me because I was the officer in Keighley, and it's been mentioned that I was able to be on the YTH staff for a few years, which was one of the biggest privileges of my officership, truly. So, I'm married to Rebecca. When we left Yorkshire, we just had Moses, who's our son. He was about 1 when we left a few years ago. And we've subsequently had Levi. Later on in the year, there'll be a number 3. So, it's exciting times for us.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, what a live revelation. That's amazing.
Breaking news coming across the screen.
Congratulations.
yeah.
Congratulations to you and Ben.
Does everybody know that needs to know, Ben?
Yeah. Well, we were past that kind of that period, but
Okay,
yeah.
that's all right then.
Well, thank you for sharing that news with us tonight. That's great. As you've already mentioned, lots of people in Yorkshire know who you are. So how are the family doing? How are you finding lockdown?
We're doing fine. Everyone's had their own interesting experience. Some of you might know that we were appointed to Pakistan, and we delayed that because then we found out Levi was on the way, and then we were kind of due to go, and we had visa process, quite a complicated visa process with the Pakistan government. And then coronavirus happened, the pandemic, and everything just got more complicated, visa-wise, travel-wise, all sorts of complications. So eventually it was we ended up with another appointment for our little family. So we've had to move again. So we've moved 3 weeks ago to South Tottenham, which some of you know makes me very happy. Where my football allegiances are. So we're now the associate officers for Clapton, Stoke Newington and Dalston Salvation Army, which is quite exciting. And we're in transitional leadership there, and we'll take over as the corps officers later in the year. So we're doing fine. We're hanging in there, doing the best we can, and just enjoying being at home.
It's been a very busy few years since you left Yorkshire then.
Totally. A lot of transition for us. Yeah.
And I know at one point when you moved to London, you were working with the International Development Team. Can you share a little bit about kind of what that role was and what they do?
Yeah. So the International Development Team for the UK and Ireland territory basically is responsible for working with countries across the world to ensure that money is, raised and also spent well and supported different projects all around the world. So kind of the typical kind of poverty alleviation things that you're probably well aware of, kind of water projects and schools and income generation, anti-human trafficking, international work, a whole breadth of stuff. And it was amazing. I was working with the Salvation Army, particularly in Burkina Faso and Mali and Angola, working with the teams there, and all sorts of other countries, but quite specifically with those. And then I ended up working for the Army together with the Foreign Office of the UK government. So it's a bit of a kind of an unknown thing, but we've been basically, because of COVID, we've been kind of supporting British nationals who got stuck and had no money and were destitute, all sorts of really amazing situations. So I was kind of like Thunderbirds, but just behind a computer, trying to make sure we could save people in the most bizarre situations, in Kashmir to the jungle in South America, all sorts of strange things. So I've had an amazing year and a half working in international development, and that was supposed to prepare us for Pakistan. But sometimes life goes a little bit differently, and that's something we are having to come to terms with.
As we continue to talk to Ben, please do send in your words of encouragement and congratulations to Ben as we continue to chat to him. Ben, a lot of people will recognise you over the last few weeks from the videos that CORE have been sharing around the territory in relation to self-denial appeal. There'll be some people who are watching who actually don't know what self-denial is, and I just wondered if you'd be willing to just share a little bit about what self-denial is with us this evening.
Yeah. It was a fantastic idea a long time ago. In William Booth's day, there was an officer called, I think it was Major Carlton, something like that. And he had the idea basically of, I'm going to give up my pudding and save that money and offer it for the international work of the army. And William Booth heard about this and he thought, that's a genius idea. I'm going to get everybody to do that. Give up, decide to self-deny themselves something. As well as that being a good spiritual practice, and a difficult one if you choose something that is difficult, it in essence was that, but all fundraise. So basically, the whole Salvation Army world, from very, very poor communities in the middle of Burkina Faso, one of the poorest countries in the world, they'll be doing that. They'll be foregoing something, self-denying something, and giving that money for the international work of the army. And basically, that money basically gets sent to international headquarters in the main, and then it's or it resides in the UK territory for specific projects. Because we have some partner territories. I don't know if you're aware of that. There's about 6 or 7 countries in the world that are specific to us for us to support and for them to support us. And some of that money goes to their specific projects, but another portion goes to international headquarters and is kind of divvied up around the world to all these countries. 131, is it at a last count? Someone will probably message if it's gone up. And the money's divvied out and it's appropriated to where it needs to go for the army's growth and to sustain some of the little bit boring stuff, the infrastructure stuff of the army, the stuff that just needs to keep happening to allow all the fantastic stuff to happen. So that's what it is. So you might remember it as a kid, if you're old enough, you get your boxes, and you still do get boxes, and you put your pennies in and that kind of thing. But it's a great idea, and it's given lots of people headaches, like Mark, if they've given up coffee.
Absolutely. And I have to say, we used to get a Smarties tube at Morley. That was always the case, and you had to fill that up, and that was the you filled that for your self-denial with 20p's.
So what we have to say as well, you might be watching, and it's probably a really challenging time for the Salvation Army this year because people aren't meeting in the buildings. So that natural way of giving is lost. So maybe you're watching and you haven't been able to give in a normal way. Well, maybe tonight you can just think of ways in which you can give to your local Salvation Army because that money is very much needed at this moment in time.
So I've absolutely loved watching the self-denial videos, and I find them really fascinating every year and just see what is going on around the world. So how have you found making those videos? Because I know it's been slightly different to the normal way of making them. How have you found it?
Yeah. Well, normally there's a team that goes out with a presenter, and obviously that wasn't possible this year. So we've been able to draw on historical footage of people we've met, and basically we've done Zoom interviews with them, and you'll know what I'm talking about if you've seen them. It was a challenge. There was one point in time where different people were self-isolating, so filming got cancelled, and I thought, oh, do I have COVID at a period? And then so it kind of got postponed, and then someone we were interviewing in another country got COVID. So it was a lot of adjusting to what was going on, and every country has been it's quite phenomenal, really. And particularly the 2 videos that are to come, I think it's next week, is Philippines. I met an officer that I'd never met before, just really inspiring, Captain Melinda Boone from the Philippines. And the final week is a really wonderful officer from the Pakistan territory. So that had additional kind of meaning, and it actually was a friend of ours who's a Pakistani officer. So it was really interesting. I'm so sorry they had to cut it down for something that was useful in a service, because they were part of some really bigger conversations that were really special to be a part of. Hearing people's stories and challenges. Some countries, the army, there's no WhatsApp or Zoom. Like the calls are cut off, basically, and the communities get cut off, and or they're dealing with a cyclone at the same time as COVID, or they're dealing with some other huge event. So it's been really interesting to get perspectives from all around the world, and I hope it's been interesting. I know it's different to previous years, but it certainly was a privilege to be part of making it.
I quite liked today's one with Richard over in Bangladesh. When you were chatting to him, I think he was in Denmark, but when he was sharing about his decision to stay in Bangladesh rather than fly home during COVID, I found that really inspiring. So I know it's brought a lot of discussion on my church's Facebook page and stuff, just having that different thing to focus on each week. So thank you for what that's done, and we hope that people will continue to give towards this worthy cause.
Yeah, definitely. And I know it's been the case for quite a long time. Lynn Gibbs has just said that every small amount given is hugely appreciated, and the fact that lots of people have been giving such a small amount for long periods of time, it goes such a long way.
Ben, we're going to watch, after we've had a chat with you, we're going to watch a video that shares, it was shared on the Salvation Army's YouTube channel the other day. It shares the names of officers that are serving abroad. And we'll use that as a period of time for people to, at home, spend time in praying for those that are serving abroad. But one last question we want to ask you is, we're in the middle of Lent, we're in the middle of self-denial, but can you share with us, and you have a little bit already, but why is self-denial so important to you? Which is it's quite a bit more of a personal question, but I wonder if you could share that with us this evening.
Why is self-denial important to me? I think it's important to me because I know the difference it's made in people's lives. That money I've been able to work with communities and officers in different territories to plan something, to a problem that exists, and we've got the resources to partner with them to solve a problem, and that problem is, for instance, buying a vehicle for for Burkina Faso and Mali. Really poor countries. They put money towards it as well. This is not just us swooping in, but we help them purchase that vehicle so that they can get to communities that are cut off from the army, or where you'd need a really good vehicle to get there because you'd get stuck. And that's a practical thing. But in that vehicle will be an officer and salvationists who connect with people and share their lives and support them and are literally helping people to flourish in amazing ways. So I know I've seen the impact that this has. So I just encourage you to, if you haven't given up anything yet, it's not too late to do so. Go for it and see if you can make it a little bit painful and give, so it's a little bit uncomfortable if you can. But God will speak to you and you'll consider wisely, I hope, the ways. Maybe you need to take something up, I don't know. But it's important because this money doesn't belong to us. It's God's, and it's a justice issue that we make sure it's shared well.
Thank you so much for speaking so passionately, Ben. It's great we miss you here in Yorkshire.
Absolutely.
So it's so nice to speak to you, Stephen, but hearing the passion you have and seeing the videos that you've done recently and hearing about the work that you and Rebecca have done over the last few years, it's really inspiring. So thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Yeah, we've loved having you and we really do miss you. And I know later on in our worship, we're going to share some music, some worship from 2018 ISCA. So we will be able to see you again as a musician, which is like really, really great. Whoever thought kind of 3 years down the line we'd be still using that footage, but really, really grateful for everything that you're doing. And it's really good to see you. And give our love to Rebecca and the kids as well.
Yeah, and a massive congratulations. So please pass on congratulations to Rebecca and the family as well. And if you're watching, please continue to send in those words of encouragement and prayers for Ben and the family. We're now going to watch a video which was created to list and bring focus to the officers serving abroad. And we want you to use this period of time to spend in prayer.
Bringing me into His holy presence, saying what I
Such a beautiful piece of music, and very much just being able to see those faces. Some of them we will have known, some we absolutely don't know. Just to see so many people that are serving across these, it's incredible.
You can find that video on the Salvation Army's YouTube channel, and it's just great to focus your prayers, particularly for those that are serving overseas at this moment in time. And we also want to say a massive thank you to Ben and the family. But Ben, for those words that he shared with us, I know he inspired so many people there, he encouraged so many people. It was great to hear about the self-denial process, what it is and what it means to him. And we hope you've been a little bit challenged this evening by his words that he brought to us.
And in a moment, we're going to bring another piece of music to you that we sang at 2018's ISCA, and Ben was a part of. And one of the challenges that I'm taking up during Lent is, although I am fasting from internet shopping, which, as we've already mentioned, is very difficult, I'm also taking up listening to more worship music, and I invited you guys to be part of that as well, to join with us on the Spotify playlist that has been put together. But we said that we would listen to new music and that we would listen to some old music. And the piece of music that we're going to bring to you in a minute is one of my absolute favourites. And it's a beautiful piece of music that was just, really close to my heart a few years ago. And there's a line in it that says that you know me the same, that you've seen the depths of my heart and you love me the same. And that for me is just everything that we ever need to know about God, that he knows the depths of my heart, and actually sometimes when I'm not the greatest person, and yet he loves me unconditionally. So that one for me, I know it's coming up in a second, is just a beautiful piece of music. No,
it's great, and it's great. Just remembering, because we were there back at ISCA 2018, those worshipful moments that we've had, And I think it's great that you continue to promote the use of a Spotify page, and we really hope that has been a real blessing to you. Please share it with your friends and your family. It's great to have some worship music on in the background, and like you've said, the lyrics of this song, which we're going to share now, just take some time to listen to the lyrics. They'll be on the screen, but take some time to listen to them because there's some very powerful lyrics there. So this is Indescribable from ISCA 2018.
From the highest of heights to the depths of the sea, creation's revealing your majesty. From the colors of fall to the fragrance of spring, every creature unique in the song that it sings, all exclaiming, indescribable, uncontainable. You place the stars in the sky and you know them by name. You are amazing, God. All powerful, untamable, awestruck we fall to our knees as we humbly proclaim. You are amazing, God. Who has told every lightning bolt where it should go? Or seen heavenly storehouses laden with snow? Who imagined the sun and gives source to its light, yet conceals it to bring us the coolness of night? None can fathom, indescribable, uncontainable. You place the stars in the sky and you know them by name. You are amazing, God. Incomparable, unchangeable. You see the depths of my heart and you love me the same. You are amazing, God. You are amazing, God. You are amazing, God.
It is great. We say this week in after week. It's great to reminisce and look at these occasions, and we cannot wait until not just our summer school programs, our youth programs, but when we can gather back in the church, when we can be back in this building with a full congregation worshipping as one. That would be great. But nonetheless, it's great that we can spend this time every Sunday worshipping together.
We did have a little bit of a giggle during that with the fact that at the very start of that video, Ben wasn't there and it was just his guitar. But eventually he arrived. So we presume that year he was spiritual director.
He was
and
doing the
could
thought,
have been
wasn't he?
leading the thought. But just the fact that he did arrive eventually.
After we had told everyone, we're going to have a video with Ben in it, and he wasn't.
Yeah.
No, it was great. But Ben was our spiritual director, so he will have given the thought that week. But yeah, it's just great looking back.
So I guess the best thing for us to do next is to promote next week. And we love the fact that you guys join us week in, week out. And next week is our trivia evening. And we are going to be going for a second round of our Disney quiz. So you loved it so much, you asked for it again, and we listened. And every week we say, kind of comment in if you would like to see any particular rounds during the quizzes. If you would like to get involved in the worship evenings, then get in touch. We want this to be as more about you guys than anything else. So we are listening to what you've asked for, and we are doing a second round of Disney. I'm excited. I get to wear my ears again.
And it's great seeing interaction we have and being involved with you guys. And we've always said, if there's things that you see that you'd like us to include on a worship evening or a trivia night, get in touch, let us know what there is. There's videos being created all around the world. This week it's been great to see the Territory Youth Band and Youth Choir, and we've featured them this evening. But if there's things at your local choir you think, oh, that would be really good on a trivia or worship night, get in touch with us and let us know. And if you want to create a round for a trivia night, please get in touch. We are scraping the barrel, trying to create new rounds. We've been doing quizzes for a year. But we've got Disney again next week. Last week we were flipping pancakes. I don't think we're going to have any of that hilarity next week, but there's a whole week for us to prep. So we don't know what's going to happen.
We will absolutely not be making pancakes in a wok again. Not a chance. But yeah, please, we've been scraping the barrel for quite a long time. So any more influence that you guys can send to us, then yeah, absolutely would love that.
It's been great to have you guys joining us this evening and week in, week out. It's great to spend this time in worship, spending time together. And we want to say a massive thank you to Noah for joining us earlier, talking about Territory Youth Band. It's great to have a little insight into that. And as we already mentioned, you can see the full concert from this year's online Territory Youth Band on the YouTube channel. We'll share a link to that later on this evening.
Yeah, and to have Ben with us as well. We're so grateful for that. We're grateful for the time that he's given up and the prep time as well that he's given. And just the fact that we realise that Sunday nights, he's got his family around him, and just to give up some time to be in worship with us and everything that he's doing. So thank you so much, Ben.
Just reading out a comment here, got from DC of Yorkshire, North and Tees. Following your naming and shaming last week, Sarah, I was challenged to give up 1 hour of Netflix each night and read and spend time with God instead. So worthwhile. So, yeah, there we are.
So I did get a little bit told off last week about the fact that I had apparently said that Jane likes watching TV, and I think that's all I said. But yeah, so she's given up an hour of TV a night, and that is all I'm saying because I don't want to get told off tomorrow morning in a team meeting.
No, thank you for contributing, Jane, and sharing your comments this evening. It's great to have you watching us. But I think that's it for us this evening, and we're going to finish our evening with a piece of music that many of you will know. It is about... I forgot what we're going to. But it's from,
How Great Thou Art.
That is it. It's How Great Thou Art. It's so well known that I forgot what we're going to. But it's How Great Thou Art. And they used it at the Territorial Youth Band and Youth Chorus as the conclusion. So we're going to finish with that this evening. But please do stay with us throughout this and continue to comment, because it's just great to have you joining in that way.